Matt, today we're going to get into a specific case surrounding plastic surgeons. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at, a hypothetical situation and sort of how plastic surgeons, plastic surgery, how they can improve their online reputation. And let's just kind of jump in here. I've chosen a completely random um, case. This is not a client. We're sharing this on the screen right now. And I just want to reiterate, I just searched like plastic surgeons near me, I think, and I chose one that looked like they maybe could use a little bit of help. And hopefully by going over this, if plastic surgeons are watching, they can see some actionable steps that they can take, um, and look at some of the problems that we were able to resolve. So let's just hop in. The company is This is one where they have both a company and then we'll look at an individual surgeon. So it's called a Phoenix. And the first thing that we do, of course, is we Google, and this is very important. Step one is sort of monitoring your online reputation, right?
Yes. So the first thing I see as a consumer is death.
Yeah, not good. And so death is showing as one of the autocomplete suggestions. And the problem with autocomplete is that with somebody might just be Googling you to check out your reputation, then all of a sudden they see something like death and they're like, "Oh, what's that about?" And you never know whether they were going to do business with you because they click on death, it leads them to all this bad stuff you don't want them to see. And so that's the first thing we do is we would want to get rid of death as a suggestion,
Yeah.
right?
As a I've never had plastic surgery, clearly, but if I did, I wouldn't hire a Phoenix with the word death right there. So I imagine if you click on it, there's going to be someone died and there's a lot of articles about it. The idea is you want to not send people down that rabbit hole. Mike is actually the best guy in the industry at autosuggest. He would promote other positive autosuggest, get rid of death so it doesn't show up. And we have a video about that you guys can link to. So the next thing though on the list that I notice that catches your eye is like Google Business Listing. So we
Right.
have two contacts, two different guys who can help with this. One guy can pluck out complaints uh, with a 100% success rate. No idea how he does it. Takes him like a month to do. It's incredible. I wish I knew how to do it so I could bypass him. But he is the only one in the whole world I know of who can do it. Incredible, incredible story. The other guy can remove a whole Google business listing. And then from there, you can start a new Google business listing with a fresh, new, clean slate, or just stay off Google business forever. Google business does bring a lot of money, so you probably should get a new page going. There is a lot of people who sell on Fiverr fake reviews. Ever since like a month ago, they're all getting filtered after like a month. So buy with caution. They're probably not going to stick. So these two guys are usually the way to go with a Google business situation.
Yeah, so Google Business, I'm glad you brought it up. That's the first thing you see. It's on the right here. If you're on a mobile phone, it's going to be at the top. It's really front and center. And someone might look at this and say, well, 4 stars, that's pretty good. But in looking at plastic surgeons, that's not so good, is it?
No, yeah, plastic surgeons are perfectionists with the reviews and everything. Most of our clients that are plastic surgeons, they'll call us with a 4.7 star rating and being like, "Oh my God, I gotta get higher. I'm not getting in business. My competitors, the 4.9, are killing me." A
And that,
4.0 is really, really low for a plastic surgeon.
yeah. And you mentioned so two options. One, get rid of the 1 stars, or number two, get rid of the page entirely. Looking at this, if it were me, since they have 142 reviews, I would probably go get rid of some of the 1 stars and if you can improve this thing to a 4.5, 4.8, you'll
Mhm.
be in good shape, right?
Yeah, so the removal guy, he charges $750 per complaint. If you do in bulk, if you're not doing in bulk, it's a little higher. The Google Business reset guy, removal guy, depends on number of reviews, but usually in the ballpark of 5,000. So it would be cheaper to remove it or reset it, but if it's in the budget, it makes sense to get that rating up higher.
So let's scroll down and just take a look at some of the organic search results now on the left, and maybe I'll let you take it and talk about what you
Next
see.
one, Yelp. We got another guy, third guy, who can remove a Yelp page from showing up. 3.4 rating, awful. Yelp typically is a much lower rating than Google. They are jerks and filter out 5 stars much easier, but still 3.4 is abysmal for a plastic surgeon. So for that, I would just remove Yelp. I wouldn't create a new one. Um, Unless your business model has drastically changed, maybe you had a bad receptionist who pissed a lot of people off. But if your business model is the same, just stay off Yelp forever because it's safe to assume you're gonna get a lot more complaints.
So this would look like in the future, if they got rid of the Yelp, you would Google Athenix and you would see their website, which we saw at the top, but then this Yelp listing would just disappear, right?
Exactly. So then the second listing would be BBB. BBB, the only solution there is to bury it. So right now it would be it's number three. With a suppression campaign, we could probably get to like number seven, number eight. So not fully off, but a lot lower. We would promote the LinkedIn, for example, create more news articles, press releases, positive content to outrank it.
And now the interesting thing we see here now coming up is this Athenix Solution Group. So this is obviously not a plastic surgeon. This is some of our software company.
Mhm.
What's your view on that? Is that a positive thing if you share your brand with someone or a negative thing?
It's good if you're an individual and you did something wrong to share your name with a lot of people. If your name's, Mike Smith, that's great because if you get arrested, it's going to get lost in translation to some degree. But as a business, you kind of want to dominate all of your search results. You don't want to look like you're not the total authority. Athenic Solution Groups looks like a bunch of fools by ranking that low, but as a plastic surgeon office, they should want to control all of page one. So
Yeah, so
they're lacking on an online presence. They have the very bare minimum. So what we could help them with was increase their online presence with more positive press.
right. Yeah, so you're saying we would, even though that Athenic Solution Group is it's a competitor, it's neutral, we would want to push that down because it kind of is standing in the way of maybe some of the good news and things that we could promote about Athenix, the plastic surgeons, right?
Exactly. Glassdoor, it's where your employees rate you. We can get that rating higher. That's easy. Instagram, nothing you can do there, but we don't do this, but you should either do it in-house or hire someone. Upwork's a great site to be constantly posting, constantly engaging with users. Instagram is a great way to make money for plastic surgeons.
Now that the next thing we see is the related searches, which not to be confused with autocomplete, two separate algorithms, but here again we see death showing up. And this is where, I've built a huge team of people in the US. So we do searches and it takes time, but we can push that death suggestion out of related searches as well.
As well as the lawsuit one too.
Yeah, a good point. Didn't even notice that. So let's just scroll a little bit further. I think we're probably, we're
Yeah,
getting
now we're
close.
hitting page two, even though it's kind of endless scrolling. Google's transformed into. You got a decent Yelp. I would, if you're on a limited budget, remove the higher ranking one. That's the 3.4 star. Keep the 4 star one instead. If it's in the budget, remove both. And then everything else looks pretty good. Facebook for free, you can turn off reviews. So if you have a few complaints, turn off reviews or remove the page, start a new page, the fresh, new, clean slate. And then if it gets complaints, kind of just keep repeating the process.
Right. And then I just want to go a little further here because one actionable thing that a plastic surgeon can do is we see real self showing up here.
Real self, yeah, usually ranks higher for most plastic surgeons. Real self, the only solution that exists is to bury it. No one can add 5 stars. They never go through, very rarely. Can't pluck out reviews, can't remove the page. So we would create positive press to outrank it.
And then there are other directories like, WebMD and ZocDoc that are in the medical niche that if
Mhm.
someone claims their profile on these directories, it might outrank it, you think?
Yeah, yeah. It really depends. So human nature is to click on negative articles, negative press, negative reviews. If you had a WebMD with a 5-star rating and a real self with a 2-star rating, the real self will outrank it because people are going to be clicking on that. Or vice versa. If real self was perfect 5.0 and WebMD had a bunch of complaints, the WebMD would outrank it. So it's all based off user behavior at the end of the day, to some
Yeah.
degree.
So not to overwhelm people who are watching, if you're a plastic surgeon, but this is a sort of we take a nuanced approach. Every single one of these bad links, whether it's review sites or bad suggestions in autocomplete, we have sort of targeted approaches, and we talk often about our team of contractors, and we go to different people for different things because they have different specialties, and we tie it all together into one comprehensive approach.
Yeah, we've been doing this for 15 years. So if there's a solution, we know the guy.
So let's take a look at sort of the most common thing that people look at after they Google just your company, and that's to add the word reviews. And the results are similar, but maybe you can kind of walk us through the importance of attacking the reviews suggestion as well.
Yeah, reviews, you're always going to have the review rated sites at the top. And again, human nature is to click on the negative ones. So the negative ones will be at the top. So those are typically the ones you want to remove. Uh, I would remove Yelp, the highest one at least. Keep the 4-star, debatably.
Hmm.
Bury real self, BBB, depending on the answer, if it's good or bad. BBB, get accredited. Say you're 4 employees because that makes you the minimum pricing. And I think it's like $800 a year. BBB, it's, in my opinion, a joke because they accredit anyone. However, older people love BBB and they actually think it means something. I think it's like a CBS a decade ago got pretended to be a terrorist organization and got accredited. So they'll really accredit anyone. They just want the money. But again, older people love it. And if that's your demographic to some degree, for 800
Yeah,
bucks a year, it's worth it.
yeah, and for plastic surgeons in particular, I mean, I imagine most of the people getting surgery are older and have money.
Exactly.
So that would be very important to them to go get that accreditation and have some control over their BBB listing.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, BBB accreditation, you can fight complaints a little easier. You get like an account rep who might listen to you a little better and remove things that are absurd. Bird Eye just compiles everything from all the different sites, usually Google Business. Glassdoor, gotta get that higher. A lot of people don't know what Glassdoor is, so they might assume it's your patients reviewing you, even though it's your employees. So get that rating higher. That's easy. Indeed, same thing.
Now, here's a second BBB listing. What's going on here?
They have different locations, it seems like. Yeah, Beaverton versus Irvine.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so we don't need to really take this any further, but when you reviews is important. You should always be, I would say, monthly, Googling your business and then Googling your business name plus the word reviews and just monitor what you're seeing in the top 10 to 20 search results. And it's important because that's where people are going to be looking. And if people are, maybe they heard for a friend, hey, I want to use this Phoenix company, they go to Google, they look you up, they add the word reviews, they're looking for some of the dirt. And, it's reasonable that you're going to have some bad reviews,
Yeah.
but it's not reasonable that you're going to have a suggestion showing up like death. And it's not reasonable that you're going to have a sub 4 rating on any platform. And so that's where we come in and, who knows how much we could help. If we were to go in and take this company and improve their online reputation, who knows how much it would impact their business.
I've had a lot of doctors tell me we doubled their business because online reviews are just so important for doctors, for everyone, but doctors especially. Then
Yeah, they're so important. And one thing we can do actually that gives us a clue, and we're not showing it here in this video, but we can take a look at the search volume for your actual brand name and then the search volume for your brand name plus the word reviews. And at least we can see, okay, 200 people a month are searching for your company or your company plus reviews. And from that, we can begin to extrapolate, what the value of the reputation work would be.
yeah, to backtrack about getting alerts and checking yourself once a month. Check yourself once a month anyway, but sign up for Google Alerts too. It's free, it's easy. All these competitor scam sites of ours, they'll charge you monthly fees to monitor your reputation. all they're doing is Google alerts. It's google.com/alerts. Free, easy. Put in your business name plus word reviews, all your doctor's names, and anytime something new is said online about you, you'll get notified.
That's a great tip. Thanks. Okay, so we wanted to talk about a doctor. So I picked at random, I went to their website, the Athenix website. The number one doctor listed was Dr. Gavin Dry. And so I figured let's just take a look at this because some plastic surgeons aren't going to have like a practice with multiple doctors. It's just going to be standalone. And people are going to Google the doctor's name just to check out their reputation and see whether or not they should hire them for this procedure. And
I would not.
why not?
Malpractice and death sitting right there.
Yeah, not good. And the malpractice actually was did some investigation. It looks like this doctor wrote some false prescriptions. So, that brings into the question of trust and, whether you want to hire somebody with such a delicate procedure.
Yeah. So if you were to remove a Phoenix death for the previous autosuggest, would that take care of it here, or do you have to target it individually too? Again,
It's a good question. Maybe is the answer. We actually have a guaranteed solution, so we would get rid of that death suggestion entirely. And my feeling is that it probably would fall out of here as well.
okay.
Um, but it's something I'd want to, again, I've got a contractor who handles this, and we'd want to have a conversation and just find out. And, we advise clients on what's the best course of action and what you can expect to happen. All right, so let's take a look at Dr. Gavin Dry. And the first thing I notice here is there is no Google business page for him.
Interesting.
And that's something that he could take advantage of. I mean, as a doctor, you can claim your own Google business page and it'll show up on the right-hand side of the screen.
Scroll down.
And
Sometimes it's a little lower.
oh, good point.
Boom, there it is.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's a little lower for him. And there we see he's got at his Bellevue location, he's got 5 stars.
You know what I would do if I were them? I would remove their Google business listing that has a 4-star rating, change the Gavin Dry one to a Phoenix, and that way when people search a Phoenix, all of a sudden they go from a 4-star Google business to a 5-star.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah, easy.
All right, so let's go back up and just kind of look at Dr. Gavin Dry here. What do we see?
I love the site expanded. Whoever set up their website did a great job. How it's all expanded like that. Procedures, photo gallery, they did well there. Um, I love how they have a bio on the doctor, probably every doctor, which ranks number 2 right there. Health grades, gotta get that higher, but that's easy, low hanging fruit.
You
Uh,
mean when you say easy, it's easy to add some reviews to it.
yeah, so there's people online that can do it easily. What they
Yeah,
do is, and it's not illegal, but it's your decision. They can transfer some 5 stars from other platforms to fill it out.
yeah.
Um, but that's up to you and Fiverr people or whatever you want to do.
Hey, you can either do that, which is obviously a gray area, or you could just, have your receptionist in your office, call recent clients who you know are happy and
Yeah,
then email them a link. Say, hey, would you mind, saying a few words of health grades? And it means a lot to our business.
yeah, that's a great idea. There's software too that does it, but usually go to spam and Google Business filters them a lot easier. Yelp too. I don't know about health grades, but at the end of the day, you're paying your receptionist 25 bucks an hour, let's say. It's probably cheaper just to have her hit up people and you'll get better return anyway, better response rate.
All right, we already discussed Google, but now we're seeing ShareCare, Instagram,
ShareCare is health grades aggregate, same reviews.
which
So if
means
you
there's
if you improve
no
health
way
grades,
to,
you'll improve ShareCare.
yeah, so ShareCare pulls its reviews directly from health grades. So that's kind of a 2 for 1 there. That's nice.
Gavin Dry Instagram, he definitely bought followers, but teach their own. No doctor has 24,000 followers unless they're like a hot female doing a lot of post.
Yeah. All right, so we'll come down here to the bottom, page 1.
All right. Good
His
Google
Yelp,
business, or good Yelp. I would keep the Yelp. 4.4 for Yelp isn't terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Related searches, got to fix that. Vitals, got to improve that. That's easy. Real self, that's incredible. But see, look what I said. People with a great rating rarely has it rank high because no one wants to read 5-star reviews. Everyone wants to read the complaints. Then Facebook, great. If he ever gets complaints on it, he can turn off his reviews for free easily. US News, pretty sure it's pay to play, but whatever.
Okay, so yeah, so we've given a lot of actionable steps for Dr. Gavin Dry, where he can sort of improve his specific online reputation for his name. And let's just round out this video by looking at the other thing that people would search for, which is Dr. Gavin Dry reviews. And of course, it doesn't present anything new in autocomplete, so that's good. But then we get into the search results.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same as before, just the review site's a little higher. I don't think
Yeah,
there's not gonna be any new platforms. It's gonna be the same ones. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So we've already sort of covered all this. So takeaways, just to wrap up here for plastic surgeons, number one, we opened up with is be sure that you're monitoring your reputation. It's something that your receptionist can do, or you can use software, the Google Alerts, like you mentioned. I recommend checking it at least monthly. Just Google yourself, take a look at autocomplete, related searches, take a look at the reviews, the review platforms, and then take a look at the first 10 to 20 search results. Would you agree with all that?
I do, yeah. Focus on the first 10, especially first 20 ultimately.
And then
But the
there's some,
first 10, the above the fold is where you have to scroll. Above the fold is incredibly important as well.
yeah, there's a lot of data out there. Maybe we can share in another video, but like the number one listing gets, I think, like 30% of the clicks. Number two gets like 25%. And it goes down from there. And by the time you get below top 10, I mean, it's negligible. It's like 2%.
Yeah.
So, also you can take actionable steps now. You can create directory listings on new directories for yourself. And you can also improve the review ratings of the platforms that you have. And then if you have a more serious problem, you contact us, right?
Yeah, we can help with almost any problem with this situation for Gavin and Phoenix. And most plastic surgeons are up the same alley. They have the same problems. The only other thing that Gavin didn't had that a lot of people do is a negative news article. You'll see those sometimes, which we can help with. Maybe they got sued, maybe, I don't know, whatever.
Well,
But
if we had clicked on the malpractice or the death, we probably would have been taken right to an article, but we're not going to do that because that strengthens that suggestion.
yeah, you're welcome, Gavin.
All right. Well, this hopefully is a nice actionable summary for specifically for plastic surgery offices and plastic surgeons who are curious about their online reputation, some steps they can take, and some ways that we can help. If you decide to call us, you're going to get a consultation with Matt or myself. We're the guys in the trenches. We do this stuff every day. You're not going to talk to a salesperson. You're going to get, a customized, affordable solution that works. And we're also not going to lock you into long-term deals, right?
Yeah, everything is month-to-month based. Removals is done on a pay performance basis. Free consultation. Just don't talk forever, please. And yeah, everything is we put our money where our mouth is.
Great. Well, Matt, thanks for your time today, and I hope everybody finds this helpful.
All right. Thanks, Mike.